From Hollywood, we present the Abe Burrows Show, brought to you by the makers of the new, fresh, mint-flavored Listerine toothpaste. And here is Abe Burrows.
Hello. Hello. I'm Burrows, like he said. Well, I'm going on the air now to fill in for 15 minutes while Dewey and Stassen are resting. Got a lot of stuff planned for this evening. Some really jerky ballads, plus a whole danged operetta. A program which should prove both diverting and nerve-wracking. For my first number, I would like to, if you'll pardon the expression, sing a tender little love ballad. It's one of those songs where a guy is reminded of his lost love by a lot of little things and souvenirs which he itemizes. It's what I call a laundry list type song. Like this. You are gone and I am here. I am here and you are gone. Gone are you and here am I. Little things around the place I find that of you do me remind. The pile of dirty dishes and the garbage in the sink. The spot upon the carpet where your mother spilled her drink. The picture of your father that was taken in the clink. Sweet, foolish little memories. The wedding license that we thought would start a gay adventure. The baseball bat you used the time you thought I needed censure. The little satin jewel box where you kept your plastic denture. Sweet, tender little memories. We could have been such a happy pair, but something must have gone wrong. It started with the honeymoon trip. I still think I should have gone along. The label from a bottle of Mom's Cordon Rouge champagne. The scars upon my ankle where I wore the ball and chain. The hacking cough I got the night you shut me out in the rain. Sweet, tender little memories.
When you go to your drug counter to buy a dentifrice, do you say,
I want some toothpaste, please.
or do you say?
A tube of Listerine toothpaste, please.
Now, the difference is this. When you ask for Listerine toothpaste, you're assured of getting not just one, but all three that the benefits a modern dentifrice should provide. Because Listerine toothpaste is truly a three-way prescription for your teeth. It's a prescription for cleansing, and no dentifrice cleans better than Listerine toothpaste. It's a prescription that's kind to your gums and aid to massage and stimulation. It's a prescription to freshen your breath, and no dentifrice performs this intimate service more effectively. Yes, many dentifrices claim to do one thing well, but fresh, minty Listerine toothpaste does three things well. Try this three-way prescription for your teeth. It's so good, it takes your breath away.
Yeah, that was great, Milt. That was Babyface, and that was Milton DeLugg and the quartet helping to age it. Well, now, if you'll all settle back and listen, I got here an operetta. Of course, I've just written this operetta, and it's not really ready for presentation. It's rough, needs finishing, and smoothing, and polishing, and possibly burning. Anyway, I'd like to tell you something about the plot and maybe sing 15 or 20 of the songs. The scene of my operetta is old California, about 75 years ago. Glamorous, romantic California. Back in the days when a man could gallop along the road on a dashing horse without people thinking he worked for Republic. In those days, California, like the rest of the West, was overrun with bold, dashing highwaymen and robin-type hoods. These bandits have since disappeared from the whole West. Modern technology has replaced all of them with slot machines. Well, the hero of our operetta is the most famous bandit in all California. His name is the Purple Phantom. As the curtain rises, the Purple Phantom and his Jolly Bandits are singing a Jolly Bandit type song. Goes something like this. We are bandits bold, we rob and steal, we raise such a terrible fuss. We take from the rich and we give to the poor, and the poor that we give to is us. We're jolly, jolly bandits, ruthless and brave, the kind that you read about in books. Some call us highwaymen and Robin Hoods, but we're really dirty crooks. Well, sir, after this song, all the bandits stand around laughing, ha ha, like that, when suddenly they spy a stagecoach. Now, in the stagecoach are two English people. One is an old man, Fortescue Fitzwater, Earl of Waterfitz, and the other is a girl, the Earl's beautiful niece, Lady Jennifer Duff. The lady is obviously terrified of this strange, wild land. You see, English people were always terrified of California until it was made safe for the British by C. Aubrey Smith. See? Well, suddenly the bandits appear. They force the occupants of the stagecoach to get out and put their hands up. And the bandit leader looks at them smilingly and says, "Pardon our intrusion. I am the Purple Phantom." Then he shoots the driver of the stagecoach, knocks the old Earl down and kicks him in the teeth. Then he turns to the lady, bows, and says, "Your servant, ma'am." And she says, "Sir, I can see you are a gentleman." Spots him right away. One of the bandits smiles and turns to the man next to him and says, "Hey, Pedro, the boss, she is in love, I think." See? That's just thrown in there. Well, anyway, the story drags on in the usual way. The Purple Phantom takes Jennifer Duff and old Fortescue Fitzwater to his mountain hideout, see? And there, under the stars, the Purple Phantom stands and gazes at the lovely Lady Jennifer. She says to him, "Tell me, Purple Phantom." And he interrupts her and says, "Please, just call me Purple." And then he tries to kiss her, and she says, "How dare you attempt to make love to a noblewoman? You, who are nothing but a lousy thief." Then he says, "But we love each other." And he sings one of those songs that goes something like this. When a man is a man, and a girl is a girl, and a kiss on the lips is a kiss, as long as thou art thee, as long as I am me, it means that we are we. Well, anyway, and she looks at him and says, I've never felt this way before. I'm afraid of you." And he says, "You're not afraid of me. You're afraid of yourself." Anyway, they get real chummy, and she tells him that she came to California with Lord Fortescue Fitzwater to help him in searching for his son, who had been forced to leave England in disgrace. You see, he had been a songwriter in England, and he was arrested for treason when he wrote a song called "Sunset on the British Empire." Well, when she tells the Purple Phantom this, we notice that he's sort of guilty. He starts, like, you know. And at this moment, the hideout is attacked by a group of rival bandits. There's a fight, and our hero is wounded. Jennifer bends over him and tenderly removes his mask, and then she says, "Why, you're an Englishman." You see, she knows he's an Englishman by instinct and by the fact that under his mask he's wearing a monocle. Well, the Phantom looks up and says, "You're right, Jennifer. I am Fortescue Fitzwater's son, Fifthescue." And that's the first act curtain. Now, usually, during intermissions at the theater, they sell soft drinks and candy bars. But I'm going to use this intermission to sell Listerine toothpaste. Opportunist I am. You know, last week was the first time I ever did a commercial. First time, and the results were fairly successful. I mean, I don't mean I caused a lot of people to run out of their houses and buy Listerine toothpaste. But I did accomplish this much. I caused a lot of people to run out of their houses. So now let me tell you again about how Listerine toothpaste really cleans your teeth and how it's great for massaging your gums and about its fresh minty flavor. You know, it really has a delicious flavor. No fooling, good taste. Yep, Listerine toothpaste helps take care of your teeth. And in addition, Listerine toothpaste helps take care of Burrows. That's spelled B-U-R-R-O-W-S. Well, now we come to the last act of my operetta about old California. A lot of stuff happens, and finally our hero, the Purple Phantom, who is really Fifthescue Fitzwater and Jennifer Duff, realize they love each other. He decides to settle down and give up the life of a highwayman. He's going to go into business in California as a used horse dealer. He's going to use the name of the Honest Bandit. Well, the Earl is going to stay too, and then everybody on the stage sings the big finale, which is an Oklahoma-type number called California. Cal, 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 if, orn, yeah. California, 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 California. It's the only state in the whole 48 that's spelled that way. Cal, 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 if, orn, yeah. CAROMLONFR. California, 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 California. What a place this is gonna be. What a future I can see. Oh, someday thousands of orchards will turn out, oranges and grapefruit galore, and great big movie studios will turn out, lemons by the score. For no, whoa, yay. This is where I'll always stay. So it's MISSISSIPPI, California, here I am. Yo! Thank you. Be back again next week with some more of these silly songs. Don't forget to listen, and don't forget Listerine toothpaste. Good night, everybody.
Man, listen. It's a skin cream made for shaving. That's right, a skin cream to shave your beard. It's Lambert's new Listerine Brushless. Nothing wilts whiskers better. And boy, feel the difference in your face. Lambert's Listerine Brushless. And don't forget to tune in next week, same time, when Listerine Toothpaste presents the Abe Burrows Show with Milton DeLugg and the Quartet. Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Next, the Abe Burrows Show, a Columbia feature recorded from its network release.
The Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations present Abe Burrows.
Hello, I'm Burrows, like he said. ¿Cómo usted esta noche, amigos? Oh, sure, that John Sablon. You've all heard that Sablon on the radio. He's that French-type singer. Fractures the dames. Well, since I heard him, I've been thinking maybe I ought to work like that. You know, smooth, suave, sophisticated, with a touch of sex appeal in my throat. Might help me pick up more female listeners. I've been told to put more sex appeal in the show. Seems that mine is the only radio program that women turn off to listen to the ball game. Funny, I used to have sex appeal. I don't know where it went. You know, this business, you move around so much. Anyway, I decided to listen to this Jean Sablon guy last week. It was Sunday, and I was feeling pretty depressed. I just finished reading the funnies. So I turned on the radio to get my mind off Dick Tracy and Coffee Head, who was just coming to a boil. And I heard this Sablon guy. Pretty good. Of course, that accent of his helps a lot. You know, those fellas with accents have a big advantage over us slobs who've got perfect diction. Well, after hearing him, I decided to write a Jean Sablon French-type song, which I'm going to sing tonight, but not right now. Before I go completely continental, I'd like to warm up on an American-type song. I have here a cute little love song, which a few weeks ago was on the program as just a plain song title. Shows you these songs of mine have possibilities. I thought of a cute title today that I'm working on. It's a tender little thing called Did You Mean It Last Night When You Whispered Those Two Little Words Dropped Dead? I'm going to try to finish that one of these days. Well, let's get to the song I did finish. It's what they call a clever type love song. Get this. You put a piece of carbon paper under your heart and gave me just a copy of your love. Each dove and pigeonhole, no, got the original. Darling, can't you see what you mean to me? Oh, how you fooled me with those giggles, winks, and nudges. The love that you gave me was a duplicate with smudges. Oh, you put a piece of carbon paper under your heart and gave me just a copy of, gave me just a second sheet of love. Isn't that amazing? Imagine, a few weeks ago, that song was just a title. But I gave it some thought, added some lyrics, music, worked it up, and now see what I've got? Nothing. Well, let's get to the Jean Sablon type song. This is a song I wrote in French. Yeah, French. I had quite a lot of French in high school. Flunked it 3 times. This French song of mine is called Ron. It's the kind of thing that's meant to be sung in a small, intimate cafe by a fellow who wears a soft felt hat and has a green spotlight on him. When he steps on the floor, there's a hushed silence, which is only broken by an occasional voice saying, "Sing, melancholy baby." Well, our singer smiles, gets a stranglehold on a microphone, and sings a song something like this. Sur le pont de l'avion, je ne sais pas, je ne sais. Quelque chose, quelque chose. Je vous aime. On est soit qui met les ponts. On a poil de carottes. On a carnet de bal. Je vous aime. Ron, ron, ron. Piti pata pata ron. Je vous aime. Ron, ron, ron. Pati piti poti ron. Je vous aime. La, la, la. Ouvrez ta fenêtre. C'est ça? Ah, mamma mia, qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Regardez, le locomotive de mon oncle. Chebaba, chebaba. Ah, chérie, chérie. Rong, 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 piti, pata, pata. Rong, rong, rong. Portez-vous des belles. I don't know. To me, that has class. Well, let's break up the sophisticated mood by a number with the quartet here. A lot of people have been asking questions about the cute little tune we use as our closing theme. This tune is part of a very interesting musical composition, which you're going to hear now in its entire wholity, or whole entirety. It was written by our conductor and first accordionist, Milton Deluxe. It's entitled Zone 28, and it was written in Santa Ana while Milton was with the United States Army Air Force, where he was, Hey, Milt.
Yeah, Abe.
Exactly what did you do in the Air Force?
I was a sergeant.
A sergeant?
Master sergeant.
Gee, I never knew anybody in the Air Force was ever lower than a colonel. How come you was only a sergeant?
I was 4F.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed Milton Deluxe's debut and farewell performance as a comedian. Let's hear Zone 28. Very nice. Very nice, fellas, very nice. You know, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I like modern music. Now, to get back to this business of appealing to the female-type listeners, I think we're all agreed that the Jean Sablon approach is not for me. Frankly, I feel that suave, smooth style detracts from the charm of my natural crudeness. There is another kind of fellow who seems to appeal to the ladies a lot. I'm thinking of those friendly, chatty, philosophical-type guys who come on the air every afternoon with tidbits, chit-chat, homely philosophy, and commercials. I can be a homely philosopher. I'm pretty homely. I might be able to handle that kind of thing. Let's see now. Milton, play something friendly. Hello there. May I come in and visit? This is Abe Burrows settling down for another friendly chat with you folks out there. Beautiful day, isn't it? I feel great. Had a wonderful night's sleep. And you know why I slept so well? There's been a little nightingale singing outside my window. And last night I finally shot him. It's nice to see folks like nightingales. Had a great night's sleep. Well, let's see what's in the old mailbag. Here's a letter that contains a poem. It's written in verse. And I'd like to read it to you because it has a wonderful message. The poem is called A Smile. No matter how dark the dismal day, no matter how heavy your troubles weigh, no matter if you are feeling gay, keep smiling. Smile, 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 smile. Smile if you're sick and never moan. And if you keep on smiling snappily, you'll find you'll always live happily. 'Cause folks will think you're an idiot and let you strictly alone. Ah, that's a mighty true statement, by George. Now I'd like to say a few words to the busy housewife. You know, one of the big problems of housekeeping is household smells. Well, let me recommend a new product called Air Roller. In a jiffy, a bottle of Air Roller removes the smell of cooking. Use it at our house all the time. Removes the smell of smoking, the smell of cooking, removes all kinds of smells. Air Roller comes in a handy kit, which contains a bottle of Air Roller and a bottle of Smear Roller. Smear Roller is the only thing made which can remove the smell of Air Roller. The price is only $1 or 10 cents for the small economy size. Try it. You know, I'd like to say a few words now about friendship. Friendship is very important. It keeps you friendly. A wise philosopher once said, "It is better to have one friend than 1,000 enemies." Yes, friendship's important. And now I'd like to say a few words about health. You know, health is very important. It keeps you well. A wise philosopher once said, "It is better to be healthy for 2 weeks than sick for 1 day." Well, my time is kind of running out now. So now here is Abe Burrows' thought for today. You know, I'm a pretty happy fella. And like many happy people, I've often been asked, what is my formula for true happiness? Well, I can answer that in one word: money. Yes, money. You know, these days, people are rushing around trying to find happiness through love and friendship. They all seem to overlook good old, plain, old-fashioned money. A philosopher once said, looking for happiness is like looking for a cow. It helps if you get a little moo. Now, when I talk about money, I don't mean a man has to have $1 million or a $500,000. You'd be surprised at how happy a man can be with only $250,000. Well, there's that Zone 28 again, and this time it's back on its old job as our closing theme. We'll be back again next week, same time, same station. Instead of those of you who aren't sick of hearing me, catch me tomorrow with Peggy Lee and Woody Herman on the Electric Hour. I'm going to be a mixmaster. Good night.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
This is KNX, Columbia Square, Los Angeles.
Here's the Abe Burrows Show, recorded from an earlier Columbia Network release. The Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations presents Abe Burrows.
Hello, I'm Burrows, like he said. Abe Burrows, creators of songs like Mother Used to Write. And author of that lovely new ballad, I'm Always Chasing Rainbows because I never seem to meet any girls. You know, I'm still new in radio, and because of that, the listeners still write and ask what I look like. I've described myself briefly from time to time, but it doesn't seem to be satisfactory. I guess I could tell you exactly what I look like, but I think that's a lousy thing to say about a guy. I really don't know quite how to, well, one thing I can tell you, I don't have a mustache. And in addition, I don't have much hair either. See? No mustache, no hair. It's a set. I kind of enjoy, I really kind of like not being bothered with hair, a lot of thick stuff up there. In fact, someday I may put on the market a preparation I'm working on. It's a revolutionary new tonic called Stay Bald. Stay Bald prevents the growth of unsightly hair on the head. Of course, I've got some hair on the sides and back of the head. I keep that part crew cut. It's rather neat, too. You know, with the crew cut sides and the blank top, I kind of give the impression of a man who has spent several hours in a pencil sharpener. Well, enough about that. After all, looks aren't everything, and in my case, they're not anything. I know you're all anxious to hear me sing. Well, I know I am. I've got a new number here, an apologetic-type love song. You know the sort of thing where the fella is sorry for what he did and realizes he shouldn't ought to have did it? Like this. There is teardrops in your two blue eyes and teardrops on your face, I see. Tell me, darling, while I dry you off a little, is all of this dampness for me? Stop your tears and sighs. I want to apologize. I didn't mean it when I slugged you, darling. I didn't mean to hit you with that chair. I didn't want to push you through that window. I didn't want to pull out all your hair. I didn't mean to smack you with that grapefruit. I didn't mean to let that hammer fall. So if I broke your head last night, it's just because I love you most of all. That number ought to be called "And the Band-Aid Played On." I got some cute new ideas for songs this week. One of them is a South American type thing. It's based on President Truman's trip to Rio. It's called "While the Rumba Band Played Mama Yo Quiero, We Danced the Missouri Waltz." Then I have a topical type things about fashion. This is kind of cute. I call it, "Now that long skirts are back again, I can see that her eyes are blue." I probably won't finish that one. Frankly, I don't think the new feminine styles are anything to sing about anyway. They sound so, well, I mean, those long skirts, padded hips, corsets, all other kinds of padding. Gee, from now on, every girl will be a blind date. Girls, be strong. Of course, I understand how hard it is to resist the new fashions, the way those high-powered fashion magazines are pushing them. You know, Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, Mademoiselle, Charm, Glamour, Schmammer. All those magazines that are filled with spinach for the modern tomato. I read them all personally. That's because I'm a sucker for those poetic ads. I love them. You know the kind of ad that reads, "We took some twinkling stardust from the skies, some romantic magic from fairyland, and some of the glowing fire of love's own dreams, and blended them all together to make these lovely Miss America galoshes." And that's pretty potent stuff. When they use the same technique on the new fashions, you girls are dead. I read one piece that was absolutely irresistible. It started off with, "Don't be a last-year girl. Get yourself a new shape. It's easy to have a wasp-like waist. Just get yourself one of these heavenly new tiny corsets made of shimmering stainless steel. This corset will give you that lovely wasp waist forever because it's welded on." Well, unfortunately, I'm not a fashion expert. I'm a singer, unfortunately. Got another song here now, and girls, to prove that styles or no styles, I'm loyal. It's another love song. This is sort of a North American version of a South American type song. Cole Porter used to write a lot of this sort of thing. You know what I mean. Get this. You stood beneath the moon on a blue lagoon, and overhead the stars, they were swaying. You smelled so sweet in the tropical heat, and over my heart kept saying, Bela Lugosi. In the Argentine means I love you. Means skies above you. Bela Lugosi. Bela Lugosi. In the Argentine, that magic phrase puts me in a daze. Bela Lugosi. You were my beloved senorita. I was your handsome gaucho. You called me Tico, and I called you Chico, although you had a mustache like Groucho. Bela Lugosi. In the Argentine means let me hold you, my arms enfold you. Stop the siesta, time for fiesta. Don't deride me, just groom and bride me. Bela Lugosi. Caramba, what a song. And now we turn from the exotic beats of the rumba to the wild, carefree rhythms of the gypsy dance. We hear a special arrangement of Horace Toccata, played by Milton DeLugg in his Romany Quartet. Incidentally, in this, Milton plays the lead in the accordion. Frankly, I don't believe a thing like Horace Toccata can be played on the accordion. But we'll see. I was right. It can't be played on the accordion. Milt, that was quite splendid, Milt. I'd call it extremely good. Some people might even call it Horace Toccata. I have another type song here which is rarely heard these days. It's a song of the sea. What you'd call a sea-type chanty. I love songs of the sea. I guess that's because I love the sea. There's nothing like it. The salt air in your nostrils, the moon over the port bow, the flapping of sails in the breeze, the scream of the gulls overhead, the trade winds in your hair. I got to try that sometime. You see, my actual sailing experience has consisted of sailing 52 times through the Tunnel of Love. But to prove I really love sailing, 40 of those trips through the Tunnel of Love were without a girl. Anyway, here's my sea chanty. Our ship is leaving Portsmouth town. Her name's the good ship Nancy Brown. Singing yo-ho, jib the boom, poop the deck, rattle the hatch, main the sail, zippy-doo, anchors away in the morn. Oh, we'll be sailing with the tides. We said farewell to our girls and brides. Singing yo-ho, rig the ratch, hoist the hitch, tote the barge, how would they use, fiddle-dee-dee, open the door, there she blows in the morning. And soon we'll be out on the ocean foam. So let's heave-ho with a will, and come, jolly tars, let's sing while we can, for soon we'll all be deathly ill. Sing yo-ho, sing yo-hi, Sing hee hee, yo ho, ho hi, hee hee, ho ha. For there's nothing like the life of a sailor, sailing on the briny foam, with a good stout ship beneath your feet, and a good stout wife at home. Oh, there's nothing like the sailor's life. The sailor's life is grand. Oh, I'd never give up the sea unless you offered me a job on land. La, ha, ha, ha.
I made it.
So it's 3 jolly cheers for the sea and a fun farewell to dry land. So up with the anchor, and we won't set it down till we reach Catalina Island. Singing yo-ho, hit the deck, follow the fleet, CBS, scuttle the butt, float the bleak, pepper the mince, on the pipe, we're sailing away on the sea. Thank you. Got a few small announcements here. This coming week, I'm going to New York City, where I'm going to guest with the fabulous Henry Morgan on his first show of the season. Hope you can catch it. And next Saturday night, my regular broadcast will also take place in New York City. So if any of you people who live there or nearby would like to come see the show, we'd love to have you. Just write to the Abe Burrows Show. That's spelled S-H-O-W. The Abe Burrows Show, care of CBS, New York City. Hope you can come. If you don't, I'll be hurt. So the rest of you people in the radio audience will be calling on you next week, same time, same station, with some new type things. See you then. Good night.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Abe Burrows Show was recorded earlier and came to you from Columbia Square. This is KNX in Los Angeles.
Abe Burrows Show, recorded from its earlier Columbia Network release. The Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations present Abe Burrows.
Hello, I'm Burrows, like he said. This program that you're about to hear represents a complete departure from the hour of charm. This week I'm doing my broadcast in New York City, which is a pretty tough thing to happen to a town right on top of the American Legion. So, you know, a thought just occurred to me. Remember how the Indians sold Manhattan for only $24? I'll bet you those Indians knew all the time that the Legion was coming. Change history. Well, I guess people are kind of tired of hearing about that convention anyway. But I just want to tell you a cute song idea that I got from it. It's a love song called It Was a Legionnaire with an Electric Cane Who Pointed Her Out to Me. Isn't that sweet? Anyway, it's nice being here. And I've got some new song titles that I wrote in honor of this New York visit. One is a rather sweet one called That Wonderful Night We Were Crowded Together in an Empty Subway Train. And then there's a nice novelty-type love song. This is nice. I like this. It's called I Found a Beautiful Mermaid in the Fulton Fish Market of Love. That song better be kept in an icebox. Well, I've got a song I'd like to do now. It's what you call a I Got a Woman Crazy for Me type song. You know the kind of thing where a fella stands up and moans about the dame who's his slave, even though he doesn't deserve it? Sounds something like this, the big schmo. I ain't nothing much as far as looks goes. I ain't read a lot as far as books go. I am quite a schnook as far as schnooks go. But my girl is crazy, crazy about me. I ain't got one of them wealthy papers. I've never been attracted to tomatoes. I'm 5 feet tall when wearing elevators. But my girl is crazy, crazy about me. She works all day in a coal mine. Keep me clothed and fed. If she ever left, I think I'd miss her. She works and cooks and slaves for me. And all she ever asks is a smile when I slap her and kiss her. Sometimes when she's so tired, when her work is done, I think that maybe I ought to go to work myself instead of lying in the sun. But then I ask, have I the right to louse up the poor girl's fun? 'cause my girl is crazy, crazy about a plain little nothing like me. Isn't that awful? Isn't that awful? An egomaniac type love song. Of course, that kind of careless contempt is almost a relief after the exaggerated raving that goes on in most love songs. Like I heard a thing the other night called Stella by Starlight, where the fella sings that to him, Stella by Starlight is the song of the birds in spring, a great symphonic theme, orchestras playing. Sounds to me like you couldn't touch Stella without permission from Petrillo. And incidentally, the fella doesn't mention how he felt when he saw Stella by daylight. Just by starlight. But anyway, you know that in real life, when the average fella's stuck on a girl, he says to her something like, "You're cute." Or if it's really a big thing with him, he might go so far as to say, "You for me, kid." Or maybe he'll just say, "Duh." But in the love songs, it says that when he looks at her, bells ring, birds sing, orchestras play, trumpets blow. How can anyone make love with such a racket going on? Besides, it's liable to wake up father. Oh, those love songs. I have one here that I call a recipe-type love song. Kind of thing where a fella itemizes all the great things that go into making up his love for the girl. Kind of like she was a cake and he was Betty Crocker. Here it is, a recipe-type love song. Lately, I've been cogitating and I've been investigating my palpitating love for you. Our love, it ain't just that simple romance. It's made up of lots and lots of great ingredients. Take some honey from the bee, pull the leg off of a flea. Take the lemon from some tea, and what have you got? It's sweet. Why, take the rumba from Havana, take the peel off of a banana, take the tinkle of Truman's piano, and what have you got? It's sweet. Take the dawn at sunset, take a blushing rose, the ice from the glacier, the Kaiser from the glacier, take the Ramsey from his nose. Oh, take some of Adrian's gorgeous gown, take some of Mr. Baskerville's town, take some salt from Epsom Downs, and what have you got? It's me, just you. What have you got? It's us. Now we hear from our distinguished conductor and musical mentor, Mr. Milton DeLudd, the great accordionist, or as he's known in musical circles, the Shelley of the squeeze box. Mr. DeLudd and the quartet are going to do something to a fine tune called Stompin' at the Savoy. Nice song, Milty. Sounds pretty smooth to me. You know, the wonderful thing about Milton's music is that a mistake sounds like it's part of the arrangement. Tonight, accompanying myself at the Steinway
you'll notice I always announce that I use a Steinway. I'm paid to say this by the Baldwin people. The Baldwin's out there. Anyway, I'd like to do another one of my movie travelogues. This one is about Los Angeles. It's entitled simply and unpretentiously, Los Angeles, Magic Wonderland of Glorious Make-Believe. You see, I think there have been too many travelogues about the Fiji Islands or Tibet or British Upper Tanganyika or the Where the Heck Mountains. Americans ought to know more about their own country. This applies especially to New Yorkers. You know, I come from New York, as if you thought I was from London. And I remember when I was a kid, I was pretty vague about the rest of the country outside of New York. To me, the West meant New Jersey. And beyond that, Indian country. So I think it'll be instructive to do this travelogue on Los Angeles. Like this. Here in the golden heart of sun-drenched Southern California, close by the mighty blue Pacific, which is called the uncle of the ocean. Here in this lovely spot lies Los Angeles. Lovely Los Angeles. A veritable jewel of a city, rich in scenic wonders, abundantly endowed with the gifts of bounteous nature, blessed by the kiss of the goddess of beauty, dazzling in the sun's bright alchemy, sprinkled with stardust, filled with dreams, and containing a magnificent sewer system. This is a very large city. In population, Los Angeles ranks fourth among American cities. It would rank first, except for the fact that there are more people living in 3 other cities. Beautiful Los Angeles. Oh, look, see who's over there. It's Gregory Peck, Clark Gable, Charlie Chaplin, Lionel Barrymore, Jane Russell, and Dame Mae Whitty. Hello, Gregory, Clark, Charlie, Lionel, Jane, and Dame Mae. Ah, colossal Los Angeles. How happy and healthy all the people look. See over there. See that large group of happy-looking men, all carrying tennis rackets and golf bags. They've just arrived in town. They're congressmen here for an investigation. Restful Los Angeles. Oh, say, here's a handsome building. It's built rather like the Taj Mahal. It's made of white marble and mother of pearl. And across the front of it is a solid gold sign which reads, Hamburger. Hollywood is famous for its hamburgers. Also cheeseburgers, nut burgers, fruit burgers, and for vegetarians, a new meatless sandwich called the No Burger. Our cultured Los Angeles. Oh, look here. Here's the famed Brown Derby restaurant, where the stars are often wont to congregate. Oh, and look there at the corner table. There's Gregory Peck, Clark Gable, Charlie Chaplin, Lionel Barrymore, Jane Russell, and Dame Mae Whitty. Hello, Gregory, Clark, Charlie, Lionel, Jane, and Dame Mae. Now we're going to visit some of the big movie studios. Those lovely big movie studios where they make those wonderful motion pictures which have given us all so many happy hours of sleep. There is mighty MGM, which stands for RKO. Oh, look, there's Mickey Rooney walking onto a set. Hello, Mickey. Mickey's about to make his 400th Hardy picture. This one is called Andy's Hardy Arteries. And now let's move on to Warner Brothers. Oh, look at all the pretty starlets. These little starlets all start out with small partlets in picturelets. And I have no doubt that their partlets will be cutlets. I tell you, a bit of humor does brighten things up, doesn't it? Here's another big studio. Universal International. Oh, look who's there in the commissary. It's Gregory Peck, Clark Gable, Charlie Chaplin, Lionel Barrymore, Jane Russell, and Dame Mae Whitty. Hello, Gregory, Clark, Charlie, Lionel, Jane, and Dame Mae. Well, there must be many more wonderful things we could see in this fascinating city. But frankly, I doubt it. And so we say... Farewell, Los Angeles. Farewell, a weaver of dreams. Farewell, Brahmin Chinese. Farewell, Cucamonga, Azusa, La Brea Tar Pit, Gregory Clark, Charlie, Lionel, Jane, and Dame May. And Lassie, what are you doing there? Farewell. Thank you.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Abe Burrows Show was recorded earlier from the Columbia Network. This is KNX in Los Angeles. Now, here's the Abe Burrows Show, recorded earlier from the Columbia Network.
From Hollywood, the Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations present Abe Burrows.
Hello, I'm Burrows, like you said. Here I am once again, hurrying through another 15 minutes in my futile race against television. I wonder what's really going to happen when television does take over. It's no problem to the pretty boys, but what about us fellas who are just wholesome looking? Not that I'm worried about the future. I was shrewd enough to prepare myself so that I can be completely independent of this whole business. I've been taking a course in how to live without eating. So I'm not worried, you see. But it still seems there ought to be room in television for a guy like me. I ain't too repulsive. I got kind of a cute twinkle in my glasses. And the fact that I ain't got a lot of hair can be very useful commercially. For instance, just think how commercial it'll be if at the end of a television show, I take a deep bow, and across the top of my head it says Sunkist. Or Jones's Doorknobs. You know, although maybe a sponsor wouldn't like a commercial to be stated so boldly. My goodness. Well, that's all in the future. Right now, I'll concentrate on radio and songs. I expect to do very well with a new number I'm working on. It's a tender little thing called When I Grow Too Old to Dream, I'll Still Be on the List for That Chevy. I'll let you all know when I finish that one. Got a song here now that some of you may have heard before. For a while, I kept body and soul together by helping to write Duffy's Tavern for Ed Archie Gardner. Somebody spilled beer in the piano. Anyway, I spent 5 years with the mighty Gardner. I guess he taught me just about everything I know about radio. You know, that could be considered an insult. Anyway, during that period, I collaborated with Frank Lesser on a song called Leave Us Faces, a maudlin little ballad which expressed Archie's sentiments on love in Archie's own peculiar language, which makes it an illiterate type song. Illiterate. Here it is. I stand here at good old Duffy, where the ale eat me to eat, me red corp suckles racing. I await for you, my sweet. In me hand is a diamond unfurled. We should holler it out to the world. Leave us no longer pretend that you are merely a friend, for it is wrote in the stars above. Though we have tried to act cold, suddenly low and get hold, leave us face it, we're in love. Leave us not blush with no shame if people bandage our name. Shoes and old rice are worth dreaming of. Stories like in our two eyes could win the Putzeler Prize. Leave us face it, we're in love. In some other life, we was once man and wife. In an old French chapeau, we was mated. Now mine love for thine, just as thine love for mine, has been reincarcerated. So I politely trot at your feet. Don't leave me life incomplete. I'm like a turtle without a dove. Love light ain't meant to be hid. No, 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 perish forbid. Leave us face it, we're in love. I thought I sang that rather beautifully. And I think my voice is improving. Feels stronger like, you know? I love life and I... All right, so I ain't Carmen Lombardo. Whether you hear me in this next number. I was sitting around the other day looking for some interesting song ideas. The kind of thing that'd live, you know? I had one shanty town, but I paid a bonus to get it. I quickly rejected that one. What I really was looking for was a holiday-type song. You know, holiday songs like White Christmas, they seem to go on forever, collect all the time. When I started looking for holidays to write about, I couldn't find one that was open. Frank Lesser just wrote, What Are You Doing New Year's Eve? Irving Berlin had covered almost every other holiday, from Lincoln's birthday to St. Swithin's Day. Finally, it seemed like Washington's birthday might be a possibility. About Washington's birthday, I had a love song called, If Washington Told the Truth to His Father, Why Should You Lie to Me? But that seemed sort of irreverent, I don't know. And suddenly I had a very good thought. All of a sudden it struck me. October 12th, Columbus Day. That was it. So here it is, a Columbus Day type love song. My lips were singing, my heart was beating. Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful meeting. Just like Columbus done to America, I discovered you. Happy on the 12th of October, intoxicated with love, but the rest of us were sober. We discovered just what bliss is, 1,492 kisses. Columbus was the greatest explorer of them all. He found out that the earth was round and then he had a ball. Oh, just like Columbus discovered America, I discovered, I located, I set foot on you. And for that, poor Isabella went and hocked her jewels. Now we'll hear from our quartet, or as they are known in musical circles, the Tone Deafers. Under the guidance of Milton Deluxe, which really is his name, as I've had to explain repeatedly to people who think I'm insulting him, this quartet has been devoting itself to the valuable cultural task of murdering the classics. Tonight, however, they're going to turn over a new leaf. They're going to try something new. They're going to murder a pop tune. The tune they've chosen is that big revival hit called I Wonder Who's Kissing Her Now. Fellas, that was lovely. Really, Milty, it was lovely. You couldn't have done better if you know how to read music. Some weeks ago, I did a version of one of those chatty, philosophical type guys who come on the air every afternoon with chit-chat, tidbits, homely philosophy, and a special brand of boredom. Well, tonight I'd like to bring that fella back for another of his chats. So here he is. Milton, play something friendly, will you? Hello there. May I come in and visit? This is Abe Burrows dropping in for another cozy chat with you and you and you. Let's have a real good talk, shall we? You know, a wise philosopher once said, if people spent more time talking to each other, there would be a lot more conversation. Yes. It's a lovely day today. I feel wonderful. I guess it's because I've got a big load off my mind. There's been a family living in the apartment over my garage. Husband, wife, and 6 children, all living in this tiny apartment. And I've been worrying about them a good deal. Well, I don't have to worry about them anymore. This morning, I finally had them evicted. It's funny how these little problems solve themselves. A wise philosopher once said, no matter how many troublesome problems you may have, you'd be much better off without them.
Well, let's see what's in the old mailbag. Here's a letter that says, Dear Abe, I listen to your friendly little program every day, and I want to tell you that I think it stinks. Signed, devoted listener. You don't know how I appreciate your letters. Well, now I'd like to say a few words to the men who have families. This message is from one of my sponsors, an old reliable insurance company. This company is the well-known Consolidated Casualty and Infirmity Company of Northern Uruguay. This month only, this company is offering a wonderful protection in the form of a modified premium, triple indemnity, special fidelity, extra debility, double security policy, which has the added feature of coming in a gorgeous cellophane envelope. This policy plays quadruple indemnity if you are killed by a meteorite or a crossbow. And it pays double indemnity if you are accidentally sawed in half. You might call up these folks and incidentally say that Abe Burrows sent you. It'll kind of help me get a commission. And now I'd like to read you a poem. It's a poem that came in the mail. A lovely poem, too. It's called Our Bird Bath. There's a bird bath in our garden, and every single day, lots of little birdies come to splash and play. We feed them bird seed from our hands. They're not shy, they're not suspicious. And when they're big, we take them in. They really are delicious. That's a beautiful and grim thought. Now I'd like to say a few words about discouragement. Discouragement is bad. You know, people often get discouraged, and when that happens, there's a little story I like to tell. Several years ago, there was a man who was pretty discouraged. He lost his business, didn't know which way to turn. Well, sir, one afternoon he wandered into a movie theater, and there on the screen, playing a small part, he saw a beautiful girl. A few weeks later, he saw this lovely girl in another picture. And from then on, he went to see every one of her pictures. Well, friends, you may not believe this, but today, that girl is Rita Hayworth. So never be discouraged. Well, I guess it's about time to put the cover back on the old philosophical garbage pail. But before I do, I'd like to do something which I rarely do, sing a song. This song was sent to me by a man who used to be a concert singer. Recently, the poor fellow has been confined to his bed by an illness which he contracted while singing. He was hit in the face with an infected tomato. Well, sir, he asked your old philosopher to sing this song, and I'm going to try because it carries a message. It's called No Matter. No matter how far apart we are, no matter how many miles, no matter if your hair is turning gray, no matter if you're beat up and fading away, no matter how hard the journey seems, no matter how cold or how wet, I'll fight wind and tide just to get to your side, 'cause you've got an apartment to let. Thank you. Thank you. We'll be back again next week, same time, same station. This program is not affected by the change in daylight saving time because we're on at night. Good night.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Abe Burrows Show was recorded earlier and came to you from Columbia Square. If you would like to attend the Eastern release of the Abe Burrows Show at 7:30 p.m. next Saturday night, write to Abe Burrows in care of the Columbia Broadcasting System, Hollywood, and tickets will be sent to you.
You are listening to KNX Los Angeles.